11/11, so everybody make a wish. I'm going to make my wish, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm allowed 3 wishes today, actually, if you want to be technical. 1 11/11, 2 11/11, and a birthday wish when I blow out my candles, which I've already done today, actually, so let's fucking go. Okay, so today we are going to be rolling up, not actually a backwood, because the first one that I pulled out, although it looks fine, I can see some tiny little pinprick holes, and I also fucked up the end. So I'm halfway through breaking down my bud. I'm going to go ahead and get the coffee going. I haven't prepared the filter or anything this morning, so that's the first thing. Also, don't judge me for the hoodie. It's fucking freezing in this kitchen. This is the coldest room of the house. I didn't know that you had to wet the filter, literally, until I got this advent calendar. I've been doing it with a dry filter ever since I started. Okay, so, day number 23. First I'm going to roll a joint, and then we'll get into the coffee. I've got some bud broken down. Like I said, I'm not going to roll a wood, because I'm not good at it. Maybe. Should we try? I'm not sure if we should try. I feel like it'd take a long ass time, and it just wouldn't. Do you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. We'll try. We'll go for it. This, I'll show you what I'm doing right now. So, this one's a Russian cream, or silver, if you're here in the UK. They are Russian cream, but obviously can't call them Russian cream. Same as blue is vanilla, but they can't call it vanilla because flavoured tobacco products. So, I'm going to carry on breaking this down. This bud's quite sticky. Like right now it feels a little bit dry, but when you've broken down an entire eighth of it, it's so fucking sticky, it's ridiculous. This stuff stinks. Like, it smells really orangey to the point where it's borderline smelling a little bit sticky. Okay, what I'm gonna do. This is slightly dry, so I'm not gonna actually roll the wood out of it like I said I was gonna. I'm gonna chuck it in the grinder, and then we'll get to rolling up just a normal joint of this. When I have backwoods, over here when we have backwoods in the UK, they come really, really dry most of the time, so it's really hard to roll up a wood anyway. Like, just in general, it's hard to roll up a wood. But when it's dry and it's cracking all over the place, it's really fucking hard. So, in my opinion, it's better to just crumble it up. What I tend to do is I'll use this end, because it's ripped anyway, and there's a massive vein going through it, if you can see that. So, literally just rip off that bit. I've got a whole ass video on this if you want to go watch it. It's called An Alternative Way to Smoke Woods. And then what I do is, this is not quite crumbly enough, but usually I will just screw it up into a ball and then literally crumble it in the same way that you break down your bud. Break down the tobacco leaf and then sprinkle it into your joint. And you still get all the flavour of a backwood, and you still get that little bit of nicotine rush, but it's not nearly as bad as having to put an entire eighth into one wood and then smoke it to the face. So, I haven't even used all that little bit that I ripped off. Literally just the tiniest bit that I put in there. And that's what we've got left. And where the fuck did I put my papers? I've lost my papers. What have I done with them? Bro, I swear down I had a pack of rolls right here. Okay, well, I've got a different pack of raws. These are not the ones that I wanted, but these ones are going to have to do. I do prefer raw classics, but because I'm smoking with backwood in it today, I was going to use the raw hemps, because the raw hemps are not as good, in my opinion. They're not my favourite. I do prefer the classics. If I'm going to smoke with Baki, which is very rare, then I'll just stick it in a paper that I don't really give a shit about, because it's going to taste bad anyway with tobacco in it, so it doesn't matter. This is a throwback for today. This is a really fucking old song. Okay. This is terrible. Whenever I try to roll quick joints, they always end up looking like shit. I'll try and show you. Why don't I just move the camera? I literally was like, I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. I literally just couldn't move the camera down. My hands are also, as gross as it sounds, a little bit sweaty, so it's not. The paper's sticking to me. Also, like, I don't know why, recently, the past month or two, my hands have been so fucking shaky. Every single day. Like, it's not like I've not eaten or anything. I've definitely had food and enough sugar and shit like that. Genuinely have no idea why my hands shake this bad. And then I'll get my little bit of backwood that I crumbled up, and then literally just put it in top. And then after I've rolled this, I don't tend to do it like this because it then sideburns a little bit, but fuck it. Just a small one for today. I thought about vaping today because my chest is still fucked, and smoking a little bit of backwood in a joint is not going to do me any good, but fuck it, it's my birthday, and I'll do what I want. I feel like I should have made this one fatter, to be honest, but it's fine. It'll do for now. Lieutenant Mustard says, happy birthday. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Okay, this joint is pretty fucking terrible. But, in fact, that's really fucking terrible, actually. But it'll do. It's the first one of the day. They'll improve as I go on. Right, so, getting straight on to today's coffee. You'd have thought that I'd have figured out this angle by now, wouldn't you? But I haven't. Okay, day number 23. We've got Buenos Aires Sensi Cafe 1. Hints of chocolate flapjack. I feel like this is going to be right up my street, if I'm honest. Hints of chocolate and flapjack sound very, very, very nice. See, it could be placebo, but I feel like that smells a little bit oaty to me, like a golden syrup type flapjack. I don't know about chocolate, but I'm feeling the oatiness of it. Okay, so whilst that is brewing, I'll go ahead and read out the little card. It says, Jose Ramon Calazos and Maria del Rosario Arizacoy. Sensi Cafe number 1 was developed by the Sensi Cafe Research Center over 20 years as the answer Colombia desperately needs to climate change. No, that does make sense. just the way that I read it didn't make sense. It was developed by Sensi Cafe Research Center over 20 years to answer Colombia desperately needs to climb. Wow, I can't fucking talk, bro. I haven't smoked yet and I can't fucking read. Right, this disease-resistant variety would soon produce exceptional coffee, wowing critics on the coffee table internationally. Thanks to Sensi Cafe pioneering farmers like Jose Ramon and Maria, this unbeatable limited edition won with Gold Sustainable Ingredient Award this year at Sensi Cafe 1. Origin Colombia, roast medium, process washed, variety Sensi Cafe 1, lemon acidity and mouthfeel is round. Right, that was a mouthful. I'm going to time this for 2 minutes and then we'll see where we go from there. I'm not feeling this today. Alright, fair enough. I mean, you put it on shuffle and you get what you get. A little bit of Queen in the morning. I'm going to spark this joint up whilst this is brewing. If anybody is smoking along with me this morning, drop it in chat or put it on in the comments if you're watching later. This is orange cream pie with just a little bit, just a tiny little bit of silver backwood, which is, if I'm correct, Russian cream. So, cheers everybody. Also, I'm not sure if there'll be a video out today or not. I haven't filmed one. Well, I've got one, but I need to edit it and stuff. I don't know if I'll have time today. There'll be no stream tomorrow because I'm at work early, unfortunately. And maybe or maybe not on Christmas Day, I don't know. I'm going to be at my partner's parents' house. So, his mum's got a dedicated smoking shed. Like, she's the reason that I started smoking weed in the first place. So she's got, like, this dedicated smoking shed. I might go live in the little shed. I don't think she'll want to be on stream with me, but I think that might be fun if I make my coffee in the morning and then take it out to the shed, do a little stream. I think that might be fun. No promises, but it could happen. Just putting a little bit of feelers out to see if it'd be fun or not. Alright, first hit of the day, first birthday smoke. Cheers to me, and also cheers to you. Also, don't usually smoke inside in my kitchen. This feels wrong. Like, I know I've been doing it for the past couple of days. Vaping's different. Vaping's fine. But smoking in general just feels weird. I feel like I need to open the door. But I don't want my neighbours to hear me talking to myself, you know? Been watching your reviews a lot lately. Been really helpful, and it's the first time I've caught a stream. Not even a patient yet, but I've started the process and it's quite lengthy. Do you think? What clinic have you gone with? For me, I am with Alternative, as you probably know. And it's not a lengthy process. It wasn't for me. It took like a week or so, but I was pretty fucking insistent with them, so that might have been why it was quicker, I think, than many other people, but maybe not. I was under the assumption that they were going to do something, and then they didn't do that, so I complained, and then it got, I don't know, fast-tracked or whatever, but that's what worked for me. Complain. Don't get your hopes up for medical, bud. I hate to be that guy, but it's not that great. It's not the worst, I'll be honest, it's really not. Some of it's alright. I've got some, in fact, right in front of me. Don't think you'll be able to see. This is the banana sherbet. Banana sherbet, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I keep saying banana runts. It's not banana runts. It's banana sherbet, but that's alright. It's not the terpiest, but just in general, it's not bad at all. So, I would actually recommend that one if you are, you know, you get to pick, well, you do get to pick your flower with Alternative, but I do recommend that one. Spotify on laptop is so weird, like, it's just odd. Oh shit, I forgot about the coffee. Right, I'm gonna plunge the coffee Going with alternate leaf, but the documents I'm waiting on from the doctors and psychiatrists are taking forever. Yeah, that tends to be the general thing. Like, it's most of the time it's people's GPs and stuff that take the piss with handing over their personal documents. It's not the clinics that are taking the piss. Get rid of the grounds and then we'll see what it's saying. Okay, so today I'm actually going to wait before I top up the rest of the cup, because I've been saying on every stream that I'm going to wait. See, I know exactly what I've done with this. It's sideburning a little bit, and it's because of how I rolled it. I don't usually just sprinkle the backwood in the top. I tend to mix it in with the bud in the bottom of the grinder before I tip it out into the joint. But I don't know, you know, live streams make me nervous, so I fuck things up. I'm not even a consumer, to be honest. I've used it once or twice a while back. I'm just interested in pursuing a more natural form of medication. That's fair enough. If you are not a consumer, then I don't think you'll have any problems with what you get. But that's not like necessarily a good thing. Just because you've no experience, you might get something that's really bad, like shit. And because you've never smoked weed before, or like only a couple of times in the past, you might think it's really, really good, and you might pay an extortionate... Oh shit, I really burnt myself then, fuck. You might pay an extortionate amount of money for some really, really subpar product, and you might not know any different, so they might keep fobbing you off with this shit product when you could be getting a lot better. That's all I'm saying. Like, just be cautious, be wise, learn a little bit about cannabis, and then you'll be able to spot good and bad. Benji says, sup? What's up, my dude? I've made the coffee. I'm waiting for it to cool down a little bit. Smoking some orange cream pie with a little bit of backwood silver crumbled up in there. I was gonna roll a wood, tripping over my words, but the one that I pulled out had a little bit. There's a couple of small holes in there that you can't see, and also a bigger hole towards the mouthpiece. So I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna let it dry out. And this leaf alone will probably make me like fucking 20 joints or something. So I could put an entire 3.5 into one backwood, or I could use that 3.5 and that whole leaf, make a shitload of joints and get like 10 times as high. I've read about the £8.50 rule, and I'll probably stick to that. I just wanted to let you know that your reviews have helped a lot in learning about the plant, learning what might work for you. Well, I appreciate that. That is cool. I like to hear that. Honestly, when I make videos, most of the time, I do it for myself because it's fun, you know, it's a laugh, and I like it, so I make those videos. The medical videos that I started doing, I didn't know if they were ever going to help anybody, but just for me, I thought I'd put my opinion out there, because I'm a nobody, pretty much, like I'm nobody. So, if people want to listen to me, that's fine. I'm not like a YouTuber. I don't get paid by any clinics. I don't get paid by YouTube, so, you know, it's just my opinion. And if it helps somebody, then sick. But also, like, my word's not gospel. This playlist is not great. Fuck it, we'll go DJ, see if that works. My Wi-Fi in here is terrible. It took me like a whole 20 minutes to get Spotify to even work. Damn fun day for you looking like. I wish, bro. I've got to go to work. What's the time now? Currently 11:30, so I've got like 2 hours, and then I've got to go to work. Like 2 o'clock till 7:30. So this is my first smoke of the day, and then I'm gonna have my proper birthday smoke later tonight. I might go live again. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might actually roll up a wood, and I might go live, or I might not, depending on how I feel after work. I'm gonna order myself a fat burger because that's what I want. I already ordered myself a Mackey's breakfast because I'm a fat bastard. But I'm also gonna order myself a burger tonight because fuck it, it's Christmas and also it's my birthday. I will say that a source of anxiety for me is having to dish out so much money on supplies for something that I'm not 100% sure will work for me. For me, obviously, if you've got a vaporizer, then obviously use that. But for a lot of people, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, a lot of people, when they get their first prescription, can't afford to get a vape at the same time. So maybe if you can't try the medication and it doesn't work for you, then don't bother spending a lot of money on a vape. I'm not recommending you do that because you're not supposed to smoke your medication, but there's no point buying a really expensive vaporizer, finding out that medicinal cannabis doesn't work for you in any way, like smoking or edibles or vaping. And then you've wasted a lot of money and that doesn't seem good, in my opinion. See, the reason, like, I trip over my words so much, which is why I don't go live very often, because I always make myself sound really fucking stupid. Because when I can't speak in general, I trip over my words, like I just said. And then when I'm stoned, it makes it even worse. So when people ask me questions on live, I just end up looking stupid. I'm not stupid. I do know what I'm talking about, I swear. You didn't see that, right? But my ash just dropped. And it landed in the ashtray, which is a first for me, because if I don't ash on myself at least once a day, then it's not a real day, is it? Right, so the coffee, it still feels hot. Also, my neighbour's on his doorstep again, and there's like 3 people there. And it's really, really putting me off. Sky says, morning, boss. Morning. How you doing? I've been looking at a more budget vaporizers like X-Max V3 Pro. Definitely a valid point, to be honest. I might give it a shot. Yeah, I mean, I'm not offering advice because I'm not a doctor. And over here, we do everything legally. We don't smoke our medication. So, but as a person, I don't think it's fair that people have to spend a lot of money on vaporizers without knowing the medication works in the first place. Now, obviously, if you start on a vape first, then that's probably the best way to go. Smoking and then switching to vaping is a very, very hard thing to do. So if you start out on a vaporizer, then it might work for you from the off. I don't know if anything that I'm saying makes sense, but yeah. So yeah, Buenos Aires Sensi Cafe #1, hints of chocolate and flapjack. First time that I've actually taken a sip of it without adding in more water, so we'll see what it's saying. I didn't get too much of anything really there. Maybe slightly oaty, a little bit golden syrupy. I don't feel like that's changed the flavour much, if at all. It's nice. A little bit golden syrupy, I would say, in my opinion. I'm getting the hints of flapjack. I don't know about the chocolate. Maybe. Yeah, do you know what? Fuck it, yeah. I'll go with that. Chocolate flapjack. That is what that coffee tastes like. For sure, it does seem a bit exploited as a whole, to be honest, from what I've seen. Yeah, it's... I think, do you know what, right? I got a comment. I posted my Super G Citra review over on Reddit last night, and the person deleted the comment, or it got removed or whatever, but I can see what it says because it gets emailed to me. And they said, I don't know why, I've seen loads of your posts on this forum, and every single one of them gets downvoted, and I don't understand it. And I think it's because I'm honest, like, people over there on the medical cannabis subreddit, for the most part, a lot of them, like, they don't smoke weed, they haven't smoked weed, or if they have, they're like, oh, I used to smoke fucking ounces back in my youth in the 60s. And it's like, bro, it's changed a lot since then. I'm not saying that I know everything. I don't. I'm learning just as much as everybody else, but I know a bit, and I know enough to know what I like, and I'm just trying to share my own opinion and potentially help somebody else. And people fucking hate it. Like, I don't know why. I really don't understand. Like, it's a good job that I've got this little group of people over here that I've had for fucking years since I started making videos, and they're supportive. I was going to say supportative, but that's not a word. They're supportive. Because the people over on Reddit's fucking brutal. Like, I don't like it over there, but I need to go over there to do research before I buy my own bud. So, you know, I'm just a normal person sharing my opinion, and people don't like it. I skipped buying a vape the first month, then my follow-up video meeting, they asked to see what I picked. I just quickly said, sorry, I'm at my friend's house. Yeah, that's weird. I've never been asked anything like that. Even, like, when I started back in 2021, they never asked me about vaping or anything like that, to memory. You can go back and watch the videos that I made, because I haven't. And then at my appointment this time round, I'm due my follow-up. I was supposed to have it, like, before Christmas, but I didn't have the money to book it, so I'm going to have to wait until January. They've said to me at my appointments, like, you know that it's to be vaped, and I'm like, yeah, I'm vaping it, blah, blah, blah. And then that's it, like, they drop it, they don't follow up with that. At least with me, they don't, because, like, I am vaping it, I'm not lying, I am vaping my medication. But, like, some people don't, and I don't care about that, bro. Like, some people, especially, again, to go back to the Reddit, you mention anything about smoking over there, and you get, like, hung up by your bullets, because people are just fucking weird. Like, people have smoked weed for years. Centuries, fucking millions and millions of years. And yet now, because the UK government says you're not allowed to smoke it, anybody that smokes weed is a criminal. And it's just fucking stupid, bro. Amy says, morning. Good morning, how are you today? Hopefully you're good. We're smoking on some orange cream pie with a little bit of Russian cream backwood crumbled up in there. I think you should be harsh critical when it's medication as well. These growers or pharmacies shouldn't be sheltered from criticism. You do that well, in my opinion. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. And that's exactly how I feel. Like, I don't know if you've watched any of my non-medical videos, but recently I did one on a strain that I had called Prosecco. And that, compared to all the medical strains that I've ever had, was absolutely incredible. And I had to tell myself that I needed to be more harsh, because the bud in itself was just regular old bud. Like, I would say that it was nice bud, it was a bit above regular, but it wasn't anything absolutely incredible. But compared to medical bud at like half the price, probably more than half the price, there's no competition whatsoever. So a lot of people do a bit of both, and I'm not saying you should do that. And in fact, I would advise against doing that. But a lot of people do have medical bud and then get a little bit of black market bud on the side. Like for me, as a little treat, this orange cream pie, and I've also got some apple tarts. It's just a little Christmas treat. It's not something that I do all the time. If I have to suffer through subpar medication for the rest of the year, then I'm going to treat myself every now and again. I think that should be okay. But other people don't, you know? People are fucking weird. I don't even know how to describe them other than that. It's like, because they've got some medical bud, and their doctor told them that they're not allowed to smoke it. If you do anything with your bud that's not exactly what they think that you should do with it, then you're a criminal and you're making them look bad and you don't deserve cannabis. It's so fucking weird, bro. The Reddit community seems less friendly. Yeah, they're not, bro. They make out like, oh, they just want to help people. But no, they fucking don't. They just want to be elitist and look down the nose at you if you do anything that they don't agree with. My voice is going, and this is a new thing that's only happened today, so I might not have a voice by the end of this live stream. I'd be really interested to ask what they think of torch-powered vapes. You mean like the Dynavap and stuff like that? I want one of those. but they're expensive. I really want a Dynavap. I've got so many thousands and thousands of hemp health points from my CBD reviews that I've done years ago. I've got so many points, but the thing is, you're not allowed to use them on discounted items. So the Dynavap's always discounted over on hemp health, but it's still like 60 odd quid. If I was allowed to use my discounts, then I could get one for free, but that's not how that works, unfortunately. I've been looking at a screwball, I think it is, or like a something twist or whatever. They're 300-ish pound, give or take a little bit, and yeah, I want one of those after Christmas, but I can't afford one right now. I'm going straight in for Cosmic Cream this morning. I haven't had that one before. I'm scared that my fire alarm's gonna go off. I'm really scared that my fire alarm's gonna start going off. I'm waiting for my neighbour to leave because she's just took her kids out. Once they're out the way, I'll open my door a little bit. This is also why I don't like smoking inside, because I get paranoid that I'm going to set my fire alarm off and I'm too short to reach them to turn them off. It's all Stardog here. RIP. For the longest time when I first started smoking, like for the first year or two, all I could get was dog. Dog or haze. It was either lemon haze or some variation of dog. And one time I got given, I thought I was going to pick up Stardog, which was fine, like I wasn't amazed, but it was alright. And then when I got there, the guy gave me Amnesia Haze, and I never had that before. Went home, smoked it. I thought I was gonna fucking die, genuinely. It was the worst experience in my life, and I've never touched Amnesia Haze since. Fuck that strain. I hate it. I took note from your Peace Naturals Atomic Sour Grapefruit review, because it's something I thought that would work for me. A lot of people like that one, but I will say, all of the strains, well not all of them, most of the strains that I've tried that are really, really hyped, like GMO Cookies and Miracle Valley Mac, the Atomic Sour Grapefruit was pretty nice, I'll give it that. That one is a very, very hyped strain, and I liked it, I'll say. It was pretty good. It's one of the better ones that I've tried, but any strain from Peace Naturals or Aurora, I've never tried Aurora personally, but I can say for Peace Naturals, just take it with a grain of salt, because some people, a lot of people, rave about it like it's the best thing in the entire world. And the first time I tried, I'll go for, let's say, GMO Cookies, because it's the most recent one that I've had. That, it didn't hit, like, at all, the first time that I tried it. It got better the more that I had of it, but definitely not what I thought it was going to be, based on how people were going on about it. I was going to put the joint down and leave it, but, like, there's only a couple hits left on it, so fuck it. Plus it's freezing with that door open, so I'm going to finish this quick. And then we'll judge the coffee, because I keep forgetting about it. I've just been chatting a whole load of shit this morning. Nah, this song's too deep for this time in the morning. Oh, we got Christmas songs. I think the DJ's throwing out Christmas songs, hang on. This is the best Christmas song. I didn't choose this, this was just random DJ, but fuck it, we're going with it, because it is 2 days before Christmas. More importantly, birthday. Birthday boy. Happy birthday to me. I'm very happy with what I've received so far. Cards, a bit of money, some backwoods. Good. The only bad thing about this is that I have to go to work. I'm not happy about that. Mondays are usually quiet, but even so, if I get to work and I don't have any free pints paid on, I'm going to be fucking pissed. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But it would be nice. A bit of acknowledgement, a little happy birthday. Let's scroll back up the chat because I've just been waffling. Do you have any recommendations, strains known for reducing anxiety? For me, I liked... It depends what you like. Again, you need to find out whether you prefer more of a head high or more of a body high. For me, I would go for, like I said, the banana sherbet is very nice. I like that. Miracle Valley Mac or Memedica Mac, they're the same thing. But I've only had the Miracle Valley one. Is good, it's nice, but it's definitely not worth £100. If you could, like, if they reduce the price, absolutely snap it up. But £100, it is good. This is what people don't understand when I say on my reviews, right? It's good weed. It's good quality for medical. Let's put that out there, for medical. But it's not as good as everyone says it is, and it is not worth £100. So, I don't know, take from that what you will. GMO was such an odd tasting one, really was like, nah, pizza flavour's silly, but I fully had it. No, see, right, because I thought exactly the same thing. I've never had a savoury sort of, like, even though it wasn't savoury, it still tasted sweet, like artificial pizza sauce. That's exactly what it was. It was so fucking weird. Happy birthday, thank you. Appreciate that. Funnily enough, I've only ever had bad experience with weed. What do you mean? I don't know why I'm so drawn to it, I just really think it'll help me. I tried edibles my first time, ate a full one, and that should have been split up a lot. See, edibles for me, I don't really fuck with. I've never had, well, no, that's a lie, I've had a good edible. I've had nice tasting edibles, but just in general, I don't really care. I like my high to be instant. Other thing, I suppose it's like the instant gratification thing that I need to work on. But yeah, edibles take too long. I like to know when I smoke, I like to be high. I like to know that I'm high. I don't like to eat an edible and then forget about it, and then like 2 or 3 hours later I start feeling weird and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And then I remember that I took an edible, you know. That's not what I like. If I'm gonna do something that's gonna change my consciousness in any sort of way, I want to be aware that I'm doing it. I'm kind of holding on to hope that vaping it in tiny doses will help. Yeah, for the love of God, take 1 hit, right? Or 2 hits. Don't take any more than that, because the amount of people that I've read about in the medical subreddit that say, oh, I've never had cannabis before, or oh, I had cannabis like 20 years ago, one time, and today I packed like a fucking full-ass capsule into my Mighty and vaped it down on 210, and I had a bad time. Like, yeah, no shit, you had a bad time. Start on a low to medium temperature. You don't want to go too low, but you also don't want to max it out. I would say in between the lowest temperature and the middle temperature, whatever that is on your vape. Try that. Take 2 hits. I'm going to recommend 2 instead of 1, just because. And then turn it off, put it down, see how you feel. If you want more, go back to it. Like with vaping, I don't personally like doing it because in my brain, I'm going to burp on me. In my brain, when I put my vape down and it's cooling down, like I'm very, very aware that even though it's cooling down, it's still cooking. So, you know, I feel like I'm wasting it. That's why I always have to finish the capsule, no matter what. That's a whole ass me issue, but that's just something that I think of. Same for me, a bit off, a lot more than I could chew, but made me want to pursue it on prescription. How amazing I slept after puking up 3 times. Oh, bro. After it mellowed out a bit, never had a sleep like that in my life. Yeah. That reminds me of my mum. Like, not the same thing, she didn't white ear or anything, but the one time that I ever smoked weed with my mum, it was the funniest fucking thing ever. She came into my room and she was a little bit drunk, so I didn't give her a lot. She, me and Jay were smoking in there. I packed my bong just a little bit, and I literally put the lighter on it, like, and then took the bowl off, so she had the tiniest amount of smoke. She took it back, She used to be a smoker, but then she got breast cancer, so she quit like a couple of years before this happened. She took it back. She coughed her guts out. She took my entire like big ass bag of crisps to bed with her. And then when she got up the next day, she was like, "I've never slept so well in my entire life." That's the funniest experience I've ever had with my mum. But that's what reminded me of. Whiting is really not a nice experience. I think I've whited maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. I'm pretty good at being able to not do that now. Off pure weed, I won't whitey. It's when you start like, I don't smoke with backy. I know I've literally just crumbled a little bit of backwood into my joint, but it's like a one-off treat that I have a couple times a year maybe. I don't mix backy in with my joints. But when my friends come over, they all mix with backy. So like, fuck it. I say in for a penny, in for a pound. If we're all sharing weed, you want to roll backy into your joint, crack on, I'll still hit it. Yeah, so when that happens, I know not to smoke as much as I usually would. And I'm good, but like if I smoked one of his joints down, I'd probably throw up. Not to the weed, but because of the backy. Which is also, I'm going to say it because I don't care if I look like a pussy. That's the reason I didn't roll a backwood today. Because I don't smoke tobacco. I haven't had a blunt in a long ass time. And if I rolled up a full 3.5 in one of these and tried to smoke it on stream, nobody'd be happy. I'm telling you now, nobody would be happy about it. So yeah, I'll take the L on that one. And call me a pussy if you want to. I'm hoping that was my first and last time. I know from now on I need to be really careful with how much I use. Yeah, be slow and steady, basically. Very, very slow and steady. Don't mix with tobacco. Do you know what? I know I've been saying that I need a haircut this entire time. I really do. But there's no chance of it happening now. It's going to be after New Year now. My partner and we do not mix. It's instantly whitey for 4 to 6 hours straight. You banned him from it. Definitely start with the tiniest dose. Yeah, that sounds awful. Like, I'm really scared that one day. You've heard of that, what's it? I think it's called CHS. I can't remember the acronym breakdown. It's cannabis something syndrome, where you throw up. Whenever you smoke weed, you just start throwing up and you just don't stop, and sometimes you need to be hospitalized. That fucking terrifies me. I've heard that it's mainly when you get into dabbing and concentrates and really, really high THC. That really scares me. What the fuck is this? That scares me. No. Yeah, that's more like it. What was I talking about? Can't remember. Speaking of Destroy Boys, don't know if you can hear the music. Guess who's got Destroy Boys tickets for January, I think, or February? This guy. I can't fucking wait. The last time I saw Destroy Boys was at Slam Dunk 2023. They were fucking sick. We were right at the front. I was vibing, and apparently the guitarist was staring at me and vibing right back, and I didn't see it. I'm so mad about it. But yeah, what were we talking about? White Ian. Yeah, we were talking about White Ian. Right, so funny story. When I don't know if the story's on my channel or not. The first time that I ever picked up, I split an eighth with Jay, and he picked one up, and then I got one for myself, and like kept that one for myself, blah blah blah. Went over to his house. We stuffed one of those Cyclone. It was either a Cyclone or a Juicy J. It was blueberry. Whichever one it was blueberry. I'm pretty sure it was a Cyclone. And it was mixed, obviously, backy and weed, because we didn't know that you could just smoke pure. We smoked it outside in his shed. We came back into his house, and his dad came downstairs, and like he didn't care, but he was fucking with him, and he was like, "Are you stoned? You got a bit too high?" And he was just basically fucking with him. And long story short, it made him whitey, and he ended up laying over the toilet for a good like hour or so, and then falling asleep. So yeah, funny story. I was considering the Dynavap, actually, like you mentioned, for tiny doses. That scares me as well. People suddenly start having panic attacks when they smoke. Yeah, certain strains you need to be really, really careful. like, I don't want to be the stereotypical or fuck haze guy, because I don't mind haze. Like, I like a nice bit of lemon haze. When it's done really well, it's nice, but you need to be very, very careful with it. Or I'm talking about myself here, because if I smoke a massive bowl of it, like a full bowl, like a normal, average, standard size bowl, if I roast that and it's just pure lemon haze, a good lemon haze, I'm gonna have a bad time. I need little doses and like a half dose maybe, and I'm good. Like, it's really nice. It's very social and energetic, and you get shit done. But too much, or on a bad day, like sometimes you just have those days where you wake up and your stomach don't feel right and you're anxious and you're panicky. You smoke it on that day, you're fucked. I have that with I just did a review of Super G Citra. That is very similar to a lemon haze in my opinion, with good strain, nice when if it was done well, it would be nice. It tastes alright, and very social. It can be chill as well, like not super chill, but when I have that on a bad day, do I fucking know about it, believe me. The first time, or one of the first times that I tried it, not good. Again, CHS, yeah, I don't know what it stands for though. It's cannabis, I want to say hyper something or other syndrome. The half bowl of most of the Dynavaps, the B1 is a good micro. Is a universally known strain to just be the best for starters in terms of not inducing panic attacks? No, I don't think so. Maybe like an OG Kush of some type, like a really relaxing strain. I remember way back, 2021 I think it was, when I first got my first cannabis prescription. I had a 1-to-1 THC CBD. I'm almost certain it was Critical Kush. And it was like shit weed, like it didn't look good or smell good or anything like that, but the effects were bang on, and it put me to sleep like that. So maybe something with a 1-to-1. That's, yeah, actually, now that I've said that, look for a balanced strain that's got an equal amount of THC to CBD. There's plenty on the Montu pharmacy, I think. So yeah, try that. At one point I was white eating every day. Turns out X was spiking me with spice. What the fuck? That's not good. How do you get spiked with spice? Like, I'm not an expert on spice. I don't even think I've ever seen it in person, to be honest with you. I thought it just looked like dried plant matter. Weird. I would not ever get pre-ground weed from anywhere. Fuck that. Absolutely not. Yeah, weird. I don't know why anybody would do that. I heard NYC Diesel is like that. Like what? Like a 1-to-1? Because if that's what you think, no, absolutely not. I had the NYC Diesel. First of all, don't get it. It's shit. Well, there we go. See, quality-wise, bad. Not good. It was full of micro seeds, and then they tried to fucking gaslight and say that they weren't micro seeds, that they were calyxes. Like, I don't know what a fucking calyx is. Come on now. Yeah, don't get it, it's shit, but also it stinks, it smells horrible. It's one of the only strains I've had in my entire life that as soon as I cracked the pot, I literally went, ugh. You can see, I did a video on it, go and watch my review of it, because you can literally see, I open the pot and I actually go, look, like literally, it's not nice. But the effects were actually alright. It tastes like chlorine. It tastes like chlorine and broccoli from memory. Not a nice taste. It stinks. The quality is really bad, and the effects were pretty bang on. So take from that what you will. I don't think it's worth the money, and I've not had it again since. It might have been better. It might be a different batch now, but I got the first batch. I think it was the first batch, and it was absolutely fucking terrible. I have weed for nausea, so the CHS is terrifying. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but if I smoke a massive bowl, like actually smoke, not vape, my first bowl of the day, if I smoke a really big bowl, sometimes I get hit and I feel sick. Not like I'm gonna throw up, but I get like a sick, anxious feeling. And then about 5 minutes or so later, it goes away and I'm chilling. It doesn't matter what strain it is. Like, it could be a haze or it could be like a fucking Mac or something like that, and I still get it. It doesn't matter what it is. It just happens sometimes. Wondering if it's worth getting a 1-to-1 balance strain. I've heard people talking about Lunar Circus. I think that's a 1-to-1. People seem to like that. There's one I think that's called Moonberry or something like that people like. Just do your research. Go look on the medical cannabis subreddit. As much as I hate that place, you should still go look over there. Mixing it into eke it out. What do you mean? I don't know what that means. Do you like spread it out, trying to prolong it, like when you like basically mixing with baki when you don't have enough, type of thing. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Why would you do that? That's really dumb. I would not be smoking with them if, well, obviously you're not smoking with them now if you're the next, but like I wouldn't have been smoking with them at the time either. Fuck that. Just if you don't have enough weed, smoke less weed, right? That's what I always do anyway. When I feel like my tolerance is getting out of hand, I don't cut it off. I don't go on a tolerance break. I'll just start smoking once or twice a day. Like, I won't smoke in the morning, or I won't smoke before I go to work. I'll just wait until I get home from work and I'll smoke a bowl after dinner. And I'll do that for a couple of days. You know, it's really not that hard to bring your tolerance back down. I don't know how people have such a bad time with it. Honestly, I walk past some houses each morning, they absolutely stink of it, but my neighbours smoke it every day, and it's a nice, pleasant, weak smell. I have no idea, each strain smells different. Yeah, that's the thing that happens due to different terpenes and stuff. I'm not a pro on terpenes and all the different compounds in the plant. I know a lot more than I used to. Medicals helps me with that. So I'll say that it is good for learning what you like and what you don't like. Obviously, out on the street, unless you know the grower, you don't know what you're getting. So, like, you can say it is what it is, and it can match up to the description as much as it does, but you never know 100% if that's what it is, unless you go medical, in which case you'd fucking hope that it is what it is, right? Also, I don't understand why on medical they give things different names to what they are. Like, high silver is literally, from what I've seen, just super silver haze. So why are they calling it a different name? There's other strains on there as well that have different names to what they are, and I don't get it. I don't understand why. Just call the strain what it is, right? Surely. Until I started researching earlier this year, I've learned definitely do the same as you know. Heard this interesting fact that if you enjoy the smell of a particular strain, it's likely that you'll enjoy the effects as well. Not sure how true it is. I don't think that's true. Maybe to a degree, like, for example, what I've got now, this orange cream pie, this fucking stinks. This does not smell good to me. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but the oranginess of it. I thought that I liked orange terps. I used to anyway, but recently, the mimosa I had stinks. This stinks. It's like really, it reminds me of orange oil and orange peel and like the pith, like the white bit. But like it's, you know, I say this, I don't know if anybody understands what I mean. It's so orangey that it almost smells a little bit like sick. And I don't like that, so yeah, take from that what you will. But the effects of this, I just had that small joint and I've been chatting shit for almost a full hour, so I like it. I wouldn't say it's relaxing. I wouldn't smoke this on a night time, I don't think. What I was talking about. forgot what I was talking about. I do this too often. Yeah. Oh, sick. Yeah. Right. So this leaf is starting to get crispy, as you can see, and that, when it's crispy, is literally fucking optimal. What you should do, I've literally got a video on this if you want to watch it. I don't know if anybody else likes backwoods or anything, but grind your bud. Once your bud's in there, sprinkle the leaf in there, mix it around, and then roll your joint, or else it's going to sideburn. Don't do what I did before. Pro tip. Yeah, I kind of get what you mean by that. I love orange, but it's very easily that almost sick and ruins it. Hope you have the best day. Thanks, appreciate that. I love backwoods. I used to smoke them as normal without weed, but the price went crazy recently, so I don't buy them anymore. Yeah, the price is ridiculous. The cheapest place that I found to get them is £14, and they tend to be quite decent actually. All the ones that I've had in this packet that I tried today, before I took them out, like, felt them, saw if there was any veins or whatever, and they're all good, to be fair. Like, they're all pretty moist. The only problem with this one was that when I unravelled it, there was like pinholes through it, like somebody had stuck a pin through the cigar, which is a bit weird, but you know, it is what it is. I prefer to smoke them rolled into joints. I know I've said this like a million times already on this stream, but I can't hack a backwood. Like an actual backwood, when you roll it up with weed, I can't hack it, it's too much for me. I don't smoke that much. Like, I don't know how much anybody thinks I smoke, but I guarantee you it's really not as much as anyone thinks. I have like maybe, I have a bowl around lunchtime, maybe like in the morning-ish, and then I have a bowl maybe when I go home from work, and then like 2 before bed. So that's like 4 bowls a day, maybe 5 at a push. It's not that much compared to smoking a whole 1/8 in one backwood to the face, coupled with the nicotine. When you don't smoke cigarettes or vape or anything, I would die. I would absolutely just decease, you know. I get them at around £13 a pack last year. Makes me cry hearing my American mates get them at like $5 US a pack. Yeah, the main American YouTuber that I watch that smokes backwoods, his name's King Chavez. You should go check him out. His channel's sick. He hasn't uploaded anything for a really, wow, fell over those words. Hasn't uploaded stuff for a long time, but he smokes a lot of backwoods, and I think he said that they're not much different, you know. I think they're about $12 or something in Kansas City, wherever in America that is. So I could be wrong. Again, like I said, not uploaded in fucking ages, but they're not cheap in some places. I understand that they're cheap in, obviously, wherever your American friends are, but in a lot of states they're not as cheap as they used to be. I think everything, just in general, is skyrocketing. Speaking of skyrocketing, actually, I've been watching too much UFO shit. That's all I've been doing. Ever since I heard about this whole fucking New Jersey drone shit, like last week or whenever it was, a couple weeks ago, I've fell down the rabbit hole. I am absolutely 100%... Well, I've always been a believer, right? But now, there's no going back. I'm expecting a fucking knock at the door from the FBI. Because I know too much, bro. We're out there. I know I said this, I think it was on yesterday's stream. I said I was stood at my back door and I was looking at the stars and this big triangle constellation. And again, I did the same thing last night, right? And I swear to God that bitch was moving. Swear to God it was probably me. Probably me leaning out there and being like, whoa, it's moving. Stoned out of my fucking head. Just staring up at these stars and being like, oh, I would shit myself if I saw something. I love UFO stuff. You should listen to Joe Rogan's podcast episode with Bob Lazar if you want to hear some really fascinating stuff. I've never listened to Joe Rogan's podcast, but I've heard a little bit of stuff about Bob Lazar, and I'm very, very interested. You know, some shit is like, you listen to these people, these experts talk, and part of it you're like, okay, now you've lost me. That's not true. Like, you're clearly fucking crazy. And then they'll say something else, and you're like, okay, I'm back. You've got me again. I watched these 4 documentaries recently that said, this is the thing, right? I'm going off. I'm not talking about Bud anymore, right? This is the thing, right? Tic Tac, UFOs are real. I fully believe that the US government made them. And also, if you go back to World War II, I'm gone now. If you don't want to listen to me anymore, that's fine. Go back to World War II. The Nazis had UFOs, right? They made flying saucers. And you're telling me that today, right, if as technology advances, as we see nowadays, we have like aircraft that looks like UFOs flying around in the sky, and it's just normal airplanes, right? So you're telling me that the UFO technology that the government has in secret hasn't also advanced, so they're not going to let us see it unless they want to be seen. So it's all a distraction, you know? But the thing is, I want to see these Tic Tacs because I know that they're real. It's insane. The guy has actually been vetted and has been verified as working at Area 51. I've heard of Bob Lazar. I don't know too much about him, but I've heard a few things. Yep, for sure is. The theory is we got that technology from when they crash landed or something. Yeah, but apparently, when was the Roswell incident? Was it like in the 50s? Right, so if the Nazis had alien technology even before the start of World War II, like it goes back to around, I'm pretty sure they said like 1937 to 1939, so before World War II, they had these documents on file, and then apparently this sounds so stupid, apparently it's the reptilians, right? The reptilians gave the Nazis the technology, and they made a deal with them to say that, like, I can't remember exactly what they said, but they made the Nazis sign a deal with them that they got the alien technology from the reptilians if they could become like their overlords, and they're basically in control of everything underneath Antarctica. But then again, that goes back to the US government, because they're the ones that are doing shit in Antarctica with reptilians or greys or something like that. But I was going to say I know for a fact. I don't know for a fact. This is all wild conspiracies, but like the Nazis were involved with the reptilians, and as far as I know, the US government is involved with some form of grey, right? I'm running to grab my tinfoil hat. I love a good conspiracy, not the reptilians. See, right, this is where I thought that they were going to lose me, because this is the documentary that I was watching. I think it was the 3rd documentary by this time. The first one was really interesting. That was the one where they were talking about the Tic Tacs. The second one was where it got a little bit wild, and then the third one was where they were talking about Nazi Germany, and then they brought out the reptilians. See, I was all in. 100%, I'm all in for the greys, right? But the reptilians, I don't know about that. And I don't know why it seems so fucking far-fetched that we could have these, like, fucking 11-foot tall, massive, big-headed, skinny aliens with grey skin and big eyes and shit, but we can't have big, tall, buff lizards walking around. We literally had dinosaurs, so why could we not have reptilians, right? But we could have greys. This is so dumb. I don't know. I need to get a fucking life. This is all I've been doing recently, literally playing Stardew Valley, getting stoned, and watching alien documentaries. Not in that order, actually. Getting stoned, looking at the stars, and then going back, putting the documentary on my laptop whilst I'm playing Stardew Valley. That has been my life recently. Just that and work. It's all fun and games. Right, so the reason that I did these streams is for the coffee, and I haven't spoke about the coffee for ages. The coffee's actually cold now, so this is Buenos Aires Sensi Cafe number 1. Hints of chocolate and flapjack. It's nice. I'm enjoying this one actually. I will give it. It's got hints of flapjack. I'm getting a little bit of golden syrup type of vibes in there. Pretty nice actually. Not as nice as the chocolatey one from the other day still, but very, very much nicer than the disgusting lychee one. That was absolutely fucking vile. So, this one I'm going to give a 7. Pretty good. Good effort on this one. Goth Anthem. I hope you mean emo. I do hope you mean emo right there. This is My Chemical Romance. My favourite band in the entire fucking universe, but we'll not get started on that one. We'll not go there. In fact, what time is it? Oh shit, right, it's 12:15. I didn't expect to be on here too long. I need to go get ready for work and, and get all my shit together. This one's been fun. No live stream tomorrow. Depending on what I'm doing, I'll put feelers out and see if I'll do a shed stream on Christmas Day. I do have a coffee to drink on Christmas Day, so that could potentially happen. Stay tuned, like the live stream, share it out, tell your friends, all that good shit. I hope you have a good day, have a nice Christmas, and everything in between.